UFC 322, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev goes down this Saturday. Let's go. We're going to be breaking down this card. I'm hyped for it. It's going to be a sick-ass main event, a really good co-main event for the ladies. Let's get into it. First fight of the night, we got Vyacheslav Borshchev versus Matheus Camilo. I got Matheus Camilo. I just think he brings more to the table. I think he's got more heart. I think Borshchev has very good offense abilities, right? I think he has very good boxing, very good striking. The last time he fought, I had him winning the fight, and he went out there and showed that he has zero heart. He has totally no heart at all. He gets cracked a couple times, and he's done. He folds. He's really easy to finish. If Matheus Camilo goes out there, avoids those good strikes from Borshchev and puts that pressure on him and backs him up against the cage, and just puts him on his back foot and puts that pressure on him with the hands, I think he easily wins. He's coming off of a loss via submission. Borshchev is not going to look to go to the ground at all. Borshchev got beat up, got taken down, got choked out in like 5 seconds when he was out there last time. So I'm going Matheus Camilo. I think he's just got more dog in him, and that's what it's going to take with this fight. I think he's going to just... You're going to have to bring the fight to Borshchev because Borshchev, like I said, does have good offense. You just got to bring it to him. You know, put the pressure in his face, make him break. Borshchev, though, on his side, he's going to have to, you know, put the pace on. He's going to have to do the same thing that Camilo's going to do. He's going to have to just go out there, keep the fight on the feet, and then, you know, just implement his game plan. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't. He's 8-6. That's a crazy record to have in the UFC. Matheus Camilo, I think he's just going to be the better fighter on Saturday. Next up, we got Makhachev versus Eric Makhachev. This is gonna actually be a good fight for Susurkaev. You know, he looked good in his last fight. He did have a guy that was what weight class is this? Let me see. It's middleweight. He did have a welterweight come up last minute in his last fight, and pretty much he rocked him really bad at the end of that first round. So there is danger on the feet, right, on both ends for these guys. Knowing that dude, saying this dude's name is just going to be a nightmare. I'm just going to say BS. Knowing that BS has the chin that he has, where he can get rocked by smaller guys, that speaks a lot, in my opinion. And Eric Makhachev, I don't think he's the best fighter of all time, but he is a UFC veteran. He's been in the game for a little while now. He's had like 3 or 4 UFC fights, 2 UFC fights. He's 1-1 in the UFC. Had a very close fight with Cody Brundage in his last fight. And that's not the most amazing thing, I would say, at the moment. But the Russian dude is brand new, right? This is his 3rd fight. 1 in the Dana White Contract Series. 2nd fight, he fought, I think, another Dana White Contract Series guy on short notice. So he's good on the feet, though, and he's got pretty good ground game. He trains with Khamzat Chimaev, so expect very good boxing, very good grappling. I think he's going to get the job done, but this is the thing that worries me, is that he is a minus 1,000 favorite, and early prelims are just doomed. They're cursed. Early prelims of a favorite that big, a lot of the times they lose, so don't be surprised if Eric Makhachev beats him, but I do think BS does get the job done. I'm agreeing. Well, I don't think it should be a 1,000 favorite, but I do think he's going to win. I would put him at like 250 favorite. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people expect, just like his first fight in the UFC. A lot of people thought he was going to steamroll this dude, taking a fight on 1 week notice. Gets absolutely rocked in the first round, even though he was winning the entire first round. Ends up knocking him out in the second round. He almost lost that fight. So don't sleep on the odds, okay? Don't make the odds just, you know, put the bunny bags in your eyes. Be careful making the bet here. But I do have BS. I want to say by decision because Makhachev is kind of hard to put away, but, you know, he's game, and it's hard to finish people in the UFC, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but I think BS gets the job done. We got Pat Sabatini and Chepe Mariscal. I'm going to go Chepe. He's got a little bit more pressure than Pat. He has a lot more pressure. He has a bunch of wins by knockout, but not in the UFC. He has 1 win in the UFC by knockout. He's got the rest by decision, but he's beaten very, very pretty, like pretty good guys, right? He beat Charriere, who's really good. He's on a 5-fight win streak now that we're looking at it. He beat Peak. He beat Jenkins by TKO. He beat Charriere by decision. He beat Jackson by decision. He beat Ramos by decision. He's beating a lot of good guys. He's on a 5-fight win streak. He sits in the pocket. He pressures forward. He throws a lot of bombs. Doesn't land a whole lot in terms of like flush strikes. But I don't think that's going to be a big deal fighting someone like Pat, who's got a lot better ground game, I would say. Not better than Chepe, but a better ground game. Like that's where he shines, right? On the ground. And he's submitted some pretty good guys in the UFC. He has that finishing ability if the fight goes to the ground, so just be aware if the fight goes to the ground and Pat is in control, it is going to be trouble for Chepe, right? It's not going to be good if Pat is in very good controlling positions, but we will see if he can last with cardio, right? A lot of people will see that are like wrestlers, jiu-jitsu guys. They'll go in there, they'll get a dominant position in round one, take someone's back the entire time, and then that gasses them out, and then they can't do anything for the rest of the fight. I don't think Pat's going to be like that, but it is a possibility, given that Chepe is very strong, is very athletic. He's going to be walking forward, putting pressure on Pat the entire time. I'm going to give Chepe the advantage just because of that. He's on a 5-fight win streak. He's hot right now, and he's beating a lot of really good guys. So I'm going Chepe probably by decision, but the knockout chance is there. Next up, we got Kyle Dawkins and Gerald Meerschaert. Gerald Meerschaert is on a 3-fight losing streak. He is 37-20. And boy, if you can't beat someone who's lost 20 times, you know what I mean? That just says a lot about you. But anyway, I think Kyle Dawkins is going to get the job done. I think he has a little bit better boxing, a little bit better, striking. He's good on the ground as well. That's the thing that kind of worries me, is that if it goes to the ground, both guys are very good on the ground, and that is just anyone's game at that point, right? But I do think Gerald Meerschaert is on the downward slope of his career. I think he's going to lose this fight. I got Kyle Dawkins. If Kyle Dawkins is smart, he watches tape and he goes, hey, if I just go out there and fucking go balls to the wall on the feet, I could catch him, I could put him away. And if I'm, not haymakery, but just go out there and just be real pressurized with my striking, a lot of head kicks, a lot of punches, not, haymakers, but straight punch, just touch his chin. We find the mark. He sits down. He crumbles. We can win this by knockout easy. Gerald Meerschaert does crumble under striking pressure. So if I'm Kyle Dawkins, I would go out there and I would try to get a knockout, to be honest. He only has 2 knockouts, so why not add more to the list? You know what I mean? But the thing is, he just beat Pereira by knockout, right? He just beat Michel Pereira by knockout, who at one time was a fucking menace on the feet. So if he could do that, he can beat Gerald Meerschaert by TKO. I'm going Kyle Dawkins by finish, whether that's submission or TKO in round 1 or round 2. Next up, to open up the prelims, I heard this fight was canceled. I hope it's not. I don't know. I heard it was canceled. There's a new guy here. So they got a new guy. Ethan Ewing. Totally new guy coming in. He's going to get fucking knocked out by Malcolm Wellmaker. Malcolm originally had a very good opponent. I don't know. The odds here are still very close. I think it's because nobody knows Ethan Ewing, maybe. I don't know who he is, who he got signed to. Let's do a little bit of research here real quick, because this could be a very interesting fight. Ethan Ewing is 8-2. He's coming off of a knockout win in Uriah Faber's A1 combat. That was a week ago. Literally a week ago from tomorrow. During the weigh-ins, he had fought 1 week ago on the 7th of November, won by knockout. So by no means is he taking this fight on short notice in terms of being ready for the fight. He's going to be in shape. He's going to be ready. He took no damage in that fight, in his last fight. First round knockout. Gets called up to the big show, coming off of a training camp. He's going to be in shape. He's going to be ready to go. The thing that I would probably be concerned with is the weight cut. Right? The weight cut probably might get to him having to do that back-to-back week weight cuts. He is a wrestler, a collegiate wrestler, so honestly, that even might not be a big deal because collegiate wrestlers have to make weight every week, so his body is kind of used to that to some degree, right? If he goes into this fight, I would say avoid any and all striking with Malcolm in the first couple rounds. Try to use your collegiate wrestling, get him to the ground, beat him up, put him on his back. Malcolm is going to look for those hooks. He's very good at switching stances, and he has killer lead hooks from both stances. And like when I say killer, I mean like totally I'm going to knock you out lead hooks from both stances. So I got Malcolm Wellmaker though. Just because the odds are in his favor. This guy is making his UFC debut against an absolute killer, destroyer, knockout artist. So his back is definitely against the wall, but don't count that out. If he has better wrestling than Malcolm and he can avoid that striking and not let that adrenaline dump get to him, because this is a very big fight, because we all know Malcolm Wellmaker is right now very hot in the UFC, and he's making a name for himself. So it is a very important fight for anybody in this division right now, fighting Malcolm Wellmaker, especially around, the unranked scene. So, but I got Malcolm Wellmaker. He's a vet. He's crafty with the striking. I believe he should have enough tools to keep the fight on the feet and, the game plan in his corner. I got Malcolm Wellmaker by second round, maybe third round knockout. Next up, we got Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. I got Erin Blanchfield in this one. I think she's a little bit more crafty everywhere, a little bit better on the feet. I think she's it's going to be an interesting fight if it goes to the ground, because Erin Blanchfield is good on the ground. Tracy Cortez, that's pretty much her strong suit as well. But I think Erin Blanchfield is better offensively. When we see Tracy Cortez win fights, she's putting girls up against the cage, mainly fighting kind of like in the cage wrestling, taking them down on the cage, maybe ended up on top a little bit there, fighting out on the feet a little bit, maybe landing some strikes, but ultimately getting them up against the cage, beating them up against the cage. Erin Blanchfield, though, she gets on you, she's all over you, she takes you down, she mounts you, she passes your guard, she beats you up from all the positions on top. I think she's going to have a little bit better offensive grappling. Maybe this goes to like one of those fights where it's like the ground game cancels each other out. We see that a lot with two guys and gals that are really good on the ground. Their ground game cancels each other out and the fight stays standing mainly. If the fight stays standing mainly, I do give the slight edge to Erin Blanchfield as well. I think she has a little bit better boxing, although Tracy Cortez, like it would be a more of a competitive striking match, because both girls are more like, ground oriented, but it wouldn't be as pretty as it would be if they both had all these crazy ground exchanges, which I think that's how the fight's going to pan out. I think it's going to be really crazy on the ground, in the first couple rounds, maybe first 5 minutes, and then one person's going to start slowing down and the other one's going to start taking control. I got Erin Blanchfield to win by decision, mainly due to the grappling. Next up, we got Roman Kopylov and RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez, Barack Obama. Gregory Rodriguez struck me as one of those fighters that was like, man, he's good, he's got knockout power, but he doesn't impress me. And then Roman Kopylov, when he first came out to the scene, I was like, okay, this dude's actually pretty impressive. And then in recent times, I go, fuck, Gregory Rodriguez is an absolute animal. And then I'm looking at Roman, his last fight with, what's the pretty boy's name? Paulo Costa. He didn't do shit that whole fight. He didn't do anything. He kicks a lot. He doesn't set up his kicks with boxing. He kind of reminds me of like Shara Bullet a little bit. Like he just doesn't do enough in my opinion. I don't know. I think I got Gregory Rodriguez. This is a close fight because he could outpoint strike Gregory Rodriguez for 3 rounds, but I don't think, Gregory, I don't think he does enough damage to keep Gregory off of him, if that makes sense as well. Gregory, watch the Paulo Costa fight. Just take notes from that. Go out and do that. That's in my opinion. Go out there, put pressure on Roman. When he goes to kick you, punch through his kicks. Kick his legs when he goes to kick you in the body. Break him down. Put him up against the cage. Gas him out. I think you get yourself a win there. I think he's a little bit more open to MMA grappling exchanges than Paulo Costa is. And I think, Roman does have a good chin. And it's going to be one of those things. Like, if Gregory wins, it's a dogfight. He hurts Roman. He's backing him up. If Roman wins, he's just point fighting Gregory, right? He's point fighting RoboCop. He's making it look pretty, dancing around him, and probably going to win a boring decision. Or he's just going to look slick the entire time. It's hard to say. I think I'm going to go RoboCop with this one. I usually don't bet on RoboCop, But I think for this one, I'm going to. Next up, we got Bo Nickel versus Rodolfo Vieira. Now, the thing is, I don't really like either of these guys as a fighter, right? I'm not too much of a fan of either of these guys, but that's not the point. I would like to see Bo Nickel get submitted just because he's so much on his high horse with wrestling. I would like to see him get we've seen him get TKO'd. I would like to see him get submitted now. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's too athletic, too good on the ground, too scrambly to get submitted, right? When he did have his super fight with Gordon Ryan, it did take Gordon Ryan a little while to get him down, to get him to a position to submit him. And if I'm not mistaken, that's what had happened. I don't remember if Gordon Ryan actually submitted him. I don't really remember, to be honest. But Gordon Ryan did have problems with Bo Nickel. So I don't think Rodolfo Vieira is going to have much. I don't think he's going to have much to threaten Bo Nickel with on the ground, to be honest. Now, in terms of the striking is a weird one because we've seen recently Rodolfo Vieira's striking actually isn't that bad. It's not that bad. His last fight was mainly a striking fight, and his boxing looked pretty damn decent, right? It was against Tresean Gore, and his striking didn't look that bad. It looked pretty damn good. You know what I mean? The submission threat is always there, obviously. So if he's having that, if he's working Bo on the feet and Bo goes for, a naked shot, he could capitalize on that and get some kind of front headlock, front head choke. But Bo Nickel, I think, has more power. I think he's more athletic on the feet. I don't think he has better striking. His striking is okay. But if he catches Rodolfo, I think that's where things are going to get interesting because I do think Bo hits hard. I will say that. I do see how Bo has a lot of power in his hands, but he doesn't have like the setup punches, right? He doesn't jab, he doesn't move, he doesn't feint. He feints, but they're like to set up one shot. It's not like a combo, right? He doesn't really throw combos in sync really well. And if he does throw punches and bunches, they're just try to finish a fight, right? He does try to set up the one shots, but you got to be a real good striker to do that. I don't think, this is going to be one of those fights, like I was saying earlier, both the ground games probably going to cancel each other out, and this is going to be more of a striking contest, and I do give the slight advantage technically to Rodolfo, but I do give the athletic, physical advantage to Bo Nickel. I think he catches Rodolfo and he hurts him, and I don't think that's going to be good. I don't think that'll be good for Rodolfo. And, so I think I'm going to go Bo Nickel by TKO, maybe by decision. We'll see. It's going to be a good fight. I think this is a great matchup for both guys. Really, really do. Going Bo Nickel, though, with this one. All right, to start off the main card, we got Beneil Dariush and Benoit Saint-Denis, and this is an actual banger. I like this fight a lot. I'm going to go Benoit Saint-Denis because I think he's looked better in his last couple performances, bouncing back from that Dustin Poirier loss. Tell him. Bouncing back from that Dustin Poirier loss, I think I'm going to go with Benoit Saint-Denis. He beats Prepelec, then he submits him, and then he submits Rufi, who's a very dangerous up-and-coming guy. I don't think that he's going to have the same, success like he did with Rufi against Beneil Dariush. I think Beneil's going to play more of a threat because he's a lot better on the ground than Rufi is, right? But at the same time, Beneil has been fighting fucking monsters. He beats Moicano, right? He gets dropped early on in the fight, but other than that, he's lost to some very good guys. He's only he's 2-2 in his last 4, and he's beaten Gamrot, lost to Charles, lost to Arman Sarukian in his last 4, but you can't be mad at those losses, right? You just can't be. Those are very good guys. So it's not something to hang your head on for Beneil to lose to Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian. But with that being said, I do think Benoit Saint-Denis has been performing better in his wins. I think he's in a little bit of I think I'm back, I got this, he's flowing better. Beneil Dariush, don't get me wrong, still hits hard, so there is that factor of him rocking Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm more so looking forward to this fight to go to the ground. I want to see what the grappling exchanges look like. This is going to be a really good ground, scrambly type of fight with crazy wild punches being thrown, crazy kicks, crazy punches. I think Beneil might be a little bit more gun shy, I would say, on the feet because he's been knocked out in 2 of his last 4 fights. And in his last fight, he got rocked pretty bad by Moicano. So I want to say he's a little bit gun shy. I think he's going to want to grapple more. And I think Benoit Saint Denis is just going to take over with the pressure and the grappling. I think he's built different. I think he's stronger. I think he's got more of a gas tank for wrestling. And I think he's going to get the job done via wrestling output. So grappling output, whatever you wanted to call it. But yeah, I think he gets the job done by decision or late submission, like 3rd round, 3rd minute of the fight submission. We'll see. Next up, we got Leon Edwards and Carlos Prates, a very, very interesting fight. This fight is going to be on the feet the entire time. You know it is. Maybe not. Leon Edwards is pretty good at mixing up his wrestling. I will say that. I don't think Carlos is going to look to engage in offensive wrestling, but I do think, if it comes down to it, Leon will take that shot. He will take that chance to take the fight down if he sees it open. If the fight stays on the feet, I want to say this. I think Leon Edwards is a little too pop shotty. Like, he only throws 1 shot here, 1 shot there, 1 shot here, 1 shot there. I think he needs to do more if he wants to beat Carlos Prates on the feet. Prates is very good at finding shots. He's not as much of a volume striker either, but I think he throws and does more on the feet than Leon Edwards does. Like I said against the Jeff Neal fight, I think right now he is in his zone. I think he is him right now. He's one of those guys where he's figuring it out. He's on the road to fighting for the belt soon, especially if he beats Leon Edwards. He had a really close fight with Ian Gary, but the fight with Jeff Neal was absolutely insane. That spinning back elbow was ridiculous. The timing on it was just beautiful. And I think he could find the same kind of timing against Leon Edwards. I don't think it'd be that hard or that crazy to think that, Leon Edwards doesn't throw a lot. So when he does throw, when it's going to happen because he throws. When I'm saying he doesn't throw a lot, like I said, he only throws 1 punch combos, 1 kick combos, a jab and a kick, a hook and a... He doesn't set up combos in conjunction. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go with Carlos Prates by decision. I think it's going to be a very good fight. I do see a finish. I can see a finish. We've seen Leon Edwards kind of get broken in his last couple losses. So I'm going to go Carlos Prates by TKO. I'm going to just say something crazy happens and we see an insane finish, some kind of headshot dead, but on Leon Edwards, shitty end of the stick for him. So we will see on Saturday. I got Carlos Prates by knockout. Next up, we got Sean Brady, the man who beat Leon Edwards in his last fight, submitted him versus Michael Morales. I honestly think this is an easy one to call. I got Sean Brady by submission. I think he's going to go in there. I think he's going to wrestle fuck Michael Morales for 2.5 rounds and then find a submission. He might find a submission really early in this fight. I don't think Michael Morales has anywhere the ground game of Sean Brady, anywhere the ground game of anyone close to Sean Brady. Sean Brady is going to go in there and he is going to absolutely destroy Michael Morales on the ground, in my opinion, if he doesn't get caught with something crazy on the feet, which could absolutely happen, right? But I think Brady's good enough to avoid that danger. I think he's fucking strong enough to just drown Michael Morales. And yeah, he's going to find that submission. He's going to use his jiu-jitsu. But no matter how we look at it, I got Sean Brady by submission. I think Michael Morales obviously has a striking advantage. I don't think the fight's going to be on the feet long enough or enough at all for him to have any sort of success on the feet. I think he's going to have to find the success when Sean Brady is going to try to find those takedowns. That is where he's going to have to be a threat to Sean Brady. Throw knees up the middle from an open stance. Try to be open stance the entire time. If Sean Brady's orthodox, you're southpaw. Don't let him gather any information on that hip or gather any distance on that hip when he shoots these takedowns. And yeah, I think if he uses his back leg, his uppercut, stays offline, don't stay straight up, because then that's when the looping hands come from, the takedowns, the takedown attempts, fake a takedown, throw the looping hand, kind of like Khabib Conor kind of style. But I got Sean Brady, no matter how you look at it, by submission. Next up, we got Valentina Shevchenko and Zhang Weili. I honestly Hot take here. This might be an easy one to call as well. I got Valentina Shevchenko by decision. I think she's going to go in there and she's going to use her grappling. I think that is the smartest thing to do here against Zhang Weili. We've seen Zhang get out-wrestled by, Rose Namajunas for 4 rounds. She lost 2, 3, 4, and 5 just by getting wrestled, getting put on her back. She's really good at getting females on their backs and putting them in bad positions in wrestling, especially most recently. But this has always been one of my things growing up watching MMA, UFC. You see a lot of people, a lot of guys go out there, they wrestle really well, they put people on their back. What happens when they get put on their back? Let's see how good they are when they get put on their back. And that's where you got to realize you got to put some of these guys, got to put some of these wrestlers on their back. Like, let's just say, for example, kind of like Sean Brady. You put him on his back, I think he'll do really well because he's got a lot of jiu-jitsu experience. But, we take Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman got put on his back. He couldn't do anything, right? He got put on his back and he got flatlined for that entire round. He was on his back. We take someone like Khamzat Chimaev. If we get somebody else that can wrestle as good as Khamzat and take Khamzat down, I think it's a different fight. We've never seen Khamzat fight off of his back. How good is he on his back? Let's see that. And we've seen that with Zhang Weili, right? In one of her first fights, in the first round of the Rose fight, she put her on her back. And it was like, oh, fuck. Rose is hopeless here. She lost that first round very bad. And then Rose goes, you know what? Let me put you on your fucking back. See how you like it. And Zhang didn't do anything for 4 rounds. Got put on her back every single time and couldn't do anything. Now, she is a different fighter from that fight. I know that people grow from fights, but Valentina Shevchenko is a fucking dog on the ground. And I think she's way better than Rose in terms of grappling. So I think the smart thing to do, because Zhang is very good at striking, she's got a lot of power, is avoid that. GSP this. Take away her advantages. Take her down to the ground. Beat her up for 5 rounds. Retain your title. Right? You are the most winningest women's champion of all time. The most winningest champion of the modern era with the new belts. So I would say don't risk it. Take her down. Beat her up. Why fight on the feet? We know she's very good, explosive on the feet. Put her where she's not good. Put her on her back. Put her against a cage. Take her down over and over again. Don't do no crazy spinning shit and give up your back and get choked out like Alexa Grasso, right? In my opinion, it was a fluke. But I think she goes out there, she beats Zhang Weili. I think Zhang can make the fight very interesting, though. She needs to not get taken down. She needs to fight like a dog. She needs to bring that Joanna Jędrzejczyk dog out of her again, right? When she went in there and just fucking, she's going to have to, if this is one of those fights where if you want to beat the champ, you want to be the champion, you got to take that shit. She's got to take this shit from Shevchenko. Like, she cannot ride out a 5-round, close fight. She's not going to get it. She has to go in there and beat up Shevchenko, hurt her, keep her off her legs, make her pay for every takedown, make her pay for every clinch. But it's not going to be easy to do. It's not. It is absolutely not. But I got Valentina Shevchenko by unanimous decision via grappling. Next up, we got the main event, Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev. This is going to be an absolutely insane fight, in my opinion. I think Jack Della Maddalena has the clear advantage on the feet, but that all changes when you got someone like Islam walking you down, shooting takedowns from fucking anywhere he wants, and he's got pretty damn good striking. And Jack Della Maddalena goes, oh man, I'm not worried about him, he's small. He's literally an inch shorter, and he's fucking huge, okay? You want to know why he fights at 155 and he's not fighting there anymore? It's because he cuts 40 pounds. That's why. Cutting 40 pounds to make 155 is not small. Hate to break it to you, Jack. He's not small. He's not going to be small. Have you seen these guys from Russia? They're not small. They're all juiced out. I honestly wholeheartedly believe that the entire Khabib camp is all on steroids, but hey, all's game and love is war. You know what I mean? All's fair and love is war. That's what I meant to say. And, it is what it is. I just, look at them. They're all perfectly shaped. They're all, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. They're all fucking fluffed up. Every muscle is rounded. They're fucking carved. They're chiseled. I know they work hard, but their heads is what gives it away from me. When Conor McGregor got out of the UFC and got on steroids, his head grew to the size of Khabib's. I don't know what you want me to say. Yes, I am. That is my logic for this. The thing is, though, we have seen Islam get knocked out. And we've seen Jack obviously lose. He has 2 losses. But we've seen Islam get knocked out a long time ago. Okay, maybe his body was still getting used to the cycle. His chin wasn't, fully developed yet. The cycle. Look at his neck. His neck is obviously way thicker than Jack's, and I think that is also because of the wrestling. And his shoulders are huge. That could be, pretty much wrestling-based reasons. But I just think, bro, I think he's a little saucy. Anyway, I do think Islam Makhachev gets the decision win. I think he's gonna drag this out. But honestly, though, he could submit Jack Della Maddalena. The thing is that not very long ago, right? We seen Jack have a very close fight with Gilbert Burns. He ends up knocking him out, right? Don't get me wrong, he ends up knocking him out, but it was the 3rd round, the last round, and in my opinion, it was a close fight, and he was getting kind of fucking whooped on the ground by Gilbert Burns. I thought Gilbert was on his way to, coming back and winning that fight, and I'm gonna tell you right now, brother, Islam Makhachev is not Gilbert Burns. When he takes you to the ground, you're not gonna get this fucking reversal. And you do get a reversal when Gilbert was kind of upside down and just lost a position. You're not losing position with Islam. Islam is not. His hips are gonna be glued to your hips if he gets behind you. And that's that. So if he gets you to the ground, it's going to be a long night for Jack Della Maddalena or a short night, because I could see Islam locking up his one of my favorite submissions, his Darce choke. I like to teach that to my jiu-jitsu classes. His Darce choke is fucking phenomenal. It's a short arm Darce choke. Once you're in it, you're stuck. You're not getting out. DJ even said it. It is absolutely true. His Darce choke is one of the best of all time. He's one of the best grapplers of all time. I do think, though, Jack has a very, very, very significant striking advantage. But they're not just striking, okay? The dynamic of your striking changes when you are feared of being taken down. Very, very easy to name off any kind of fight to reference, but most recently, Rufy versus Benoit Saint Denis, he threw no punches. Rufy is obviously a better striker. He threw 0 punches, right? Threw no punches at all. He had the fear of being taken down. That was why he didn't do anything. He didn't really throw any kicks at all. Didn't do anything. Literally nothing on the feet. And got mauled, right? You get someone like Dustin Poirier, who's a lot better on the ground, who doesn't fear someone like Benoit Saint Denis taking him down or shooting for shots. Beats him up on the feet, right? So that's what Jack has to do. He has to go, listen, take me down. Okay, fine. I'm going to get back up. He's got to show that, too. He's got to show that. He's got to show that he could stuff takedowns. He's got to show that he could get back up to his feet. Can he do that, though? We will find out on Saturday. But as of right now, I got Islam Makhachev by either submission or decision. One of the two. You guys could pick. I don't know. I can see a submission very easily in the first couple rounds, maybe in the last round. Depends on how much Jack Della is getting wrestling fucked, right? Islam's not going to gas from wrestling. And he's going to, and the thing is too, is that when Jack fought Bilal Muhammad, Bilal didn't wrestle enough, in my opinion. He struck a little too much on the feet, got beat up a lot on the feet before he tried to go for these takedowns. I think he's going to wrestle a lot more than Bilal did. I think he's going to go in there, shoot right away, get back up, throw a couple punches, shoot right away. But that could be the downfall for Islam as well, because, maybe he might run into a knee. We seen Jack time that knee very good on Gilbert Burns, so just got to look out for stuff like that if you're Islam. But I think Islam's good enough to avoid that stuff. But that knockout is always there for Jack Della Maddalena as long as the fight is on the feet. Anyway, I'm going Islam Makhachev. That is my final prediction. I hope you guys tune into the fight. I'll be talking about it on Sunday, the aftermath. Probably Saturday night. Sunday's going to be a busy day for me, so probably Saturday night I'll upload a late video talking about Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena. Alright guys, I will be seeing y'all soon. Make sure you sub to the channel. Oh, and also, if you're still here, I'm going to be dropping videos, 2 videos a week. A striking technique and a jiu-jitsu technique of the week. They're going to be for members only, so make sure you become a member if you're a fighter, if you want to learn, if you're a learning mixed martial artist. Become a member, get those videos, for a couple bucks a month. I think it's $5 a month. Get those videos, $4 a month. Get those videos once a week. 2 videos, a striking and a jiu-jitsu video or any kind of grappling situation. And yeah, and add those techniques to your game. Anyway, that is me. That is showtime. I am out of here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I will be seeing y'all on the next one.